Hey, baby loves. Hi, how y'all doing? This is me, Goddess Love, on knowing yourself. Do you really know yourself? Ask yourself that question. And can you give yourself an unequivocal answer? Okay, so the reason why I'm talking about this is because we want so many things out of life. We gear ourselves up to be married and in relationships, having babies, doing all of these things, going into things that we have to share with another spirit, another soul, another being. But do you know yourself in order to maintain that relationship? If you can't answer that question as to whether or not you know yourself, I ain't talking about, I'm Elroy Jetson or I'm Shaniqua Jenkins or whatever. No, beyond just what your name is, when you were born, who your mama and your daddy and your siblings are, beyond that, spiritually, do you know who you are? Emotionally, do you know who you are? Mentally, do you know who you are? We got to go beyond the physical. We have to know ourselves inside and out to know whether or not being in a relationship, being a parent, being able to function where we have to deal with other people, to know whether or not we can do that. If you know who you are truly, spiritually, what it is you'll accept, what it is that you won't accept, what it is that you'll put up with, what you won't deal with, all of these types of things, what your loving style is, what your giving style is, what your receiving style is. And that's just something that just popped into my head. This gratitude to the ancestors. We have styles and ways of how we receive and give love. We have styles as to how we function with other people. Do you know that about yourself? If you don't know those things about yourself, then how can you function within any type of relationship with anyone else? Okay, so I'll give you an example. When we go to a job and we're on that job for a day or two and we're dealing with certain people and we say to ourselves, oh, this is a good fit for me. I feel like I'm going to thrive here. Or we say, oh, hell no, I know I ain't doing this shit. I won't be here long. I'm just going to get this first paycheck and I'm going to bounce. You know you don't mesh well with these people. You know that this is not a good environment for you. You know that you are not a good fit for this. So you're doing what you need to do to survive. That's survival mode. And we can't function just being in survival mode all the time. We got to do better for ourselves. We got to know who we truly are before we go into these relationships and then not understand why they're ending. And I'm not talking about just romantic relationships. It can be friendships. Like sometimes we're friends with people and they behave a certain way or we behave a certain way, and if we truly communicated certain things with each other, then we would understand why we shouldn't be friends with certain people. Sometimes we're just going through the motions. So before you say, I want to be married, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be with somebody, I don't want to be by myself and all of that, figure out why you don't want to be by yourself. Figure out why you haven't gotten into a relationship that was successful. Figure out why you behave the way that you behave when you get in relationships. Make observations of yourself. When you meet someone, do you just completely lose all sense of who you are in order to be what they want you to be? Or do you become defensive and start being jealous and feeling like this person is going to do something to you? Are you always waiting for the other shoe to drop? These are questions you need to answer for yourself before you go and hop into a relationship. It is of the utmost importance that we understand who we are before we get into a relationship. Not just in the physical sense, but in the mental sense, in the spiritual sense, in the emotional sense, in every sense of who you are. You have to know yourself. If you cannot sit alone with yourself, if you cannot meditate by yourself, if you can't watch TV by yourself, if you can't sleep by yourself, if you can't shop, go out to eat, function in any way alone, why? You have to know why. Why don't you like yourself? Because you can't like yourself. If you always want somebody else in your space, if you always hanging out with other people, if you feel like you always got to be around others, and when you're at home, you're bored, or when you at home, you sitting there depressed and all of this kind of stuff, why? So many of us are not taking out the time to sit down and figure out why we behave the way we behave, why we feel the need to be around others all the time, why we can't sit alone and read a book, why we can't just sit by ourselves in the quiet and enjoy our own company. Why? If you don't enjoy your own company, how you expect somebody else to? If you only flourish and be who you truly are, because you're not who you truly are, if you are, because you're wearing a false mask, if you can't be yourself with yourself. Don't let that go over your head. If you can't be yourself with yourself, you're wearing a false mask when you're out and around other people. Watch your behaviors when you're around other people. I want y'all to really pay attention to yourselves and watch how you behave when you're around other people and how you behave when you're at home. I'm just going to be honest with you, because in the past, I would sit at home and I would be angry. I wouldn't be happy. I would be going through all of these thought processes and all of this type of stuff while I was at home by myself. But then as soon as I was around other people, I was smiling, I was grinning, I was laughing, wearing a false mask, pretending like everything was okay, when I knew goddamn well it wasn't. Okay? The reason why I am getting to this point of being upset is because I have people who reach out to me who are going through it. Okay? And I advise them. They want my help. I advise them and tell them, okay, you need to be doing A, B, and C. You got to sit with yourself. You got to pull out these things. You got to journal. You got to do this. You got to do that to heal yourself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. They work on it 1 or 2 days, and then as soon as somebody call, they back on the same shit. That is not how you grow. If your shit is fucked up and you feel like your life is fucked up and you need healing and you're depressed and all of these things, and somebody from your past, especially right now with where we are with Mercury, somebody from your past coming back and you go back and deal with them, you ain't trying to heal. You just sitting here going through the motions for that moment. And then as soon as someone comes around and say, hey, let's go out to eat, you going with them. Soon as that ex-guy that dragged you through the mud shows up, you going back with him, because I don't want to be alone. Why? You need to get to the root of why you don't want to be alone. Do the fucking work. Y'all got to stop playing. Stop bullshitting with yourselves. Stop letting people make you think that you're not whole without them. How is it that you're not... Let me calm down. How is it that you're not content with sitting at home by yourself? Please, y'all, we got to do better. And it's not just women, it's everybody. It's men and women. These brothers that feel like they got to be hanging out with their boys every single solitary day. Those of us who feel like we got to be in the company of somebody every day, okay? That is a sure sign that it's some shit that you don't want to face. Simple. Nah, be mad at me, I don't care. But this is what it is. This is what it is. If you can't sit alone by yourself, be at home by yourself, sit by yourself, watch a movie, eat, whatever it is by yourself, you got issues with yourself and you need to address that shit. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm sending you all the peace, love, light, positive energy, and healing vibes that I can possibly send out to all of you. But get y'all shit together. Do the fucking work. I'll see you soon, macaroon.